Yeah, my first one didn't go out, apparently. Glad the second one's going out. Yay.
We got some more.
All right, here we go.
We got Latoya coming in. Mignon, can you come on camera? We'd love to see your faces.
Absolutely.
Hello, Latoya.
Yes, I can.
Awesome.
Hi. Good morning. I'm on my way to work, so I'm gonna be muted. If you're listening.
No problem. That's
start
right. You
work at
listen to us like a
9:30,
radio show.
right?
I love it. Get the information beforehand. All right, let me find this person because I know how to work this thing on my, oh, there it is.
This is one of those minutes, ladies, where we just kind of, we're doing our thing, you know. This is massive imperfect action at the moment. We've got a short presentation for you, and our wish is that we get an opportunity to, you know, have conversation with you on a one-to-one basis. So the presentation's like maybe 20 minutes. It's pretty short. It's very informative though. And then we can do some Q&A on how we, Kaden and I, can both help serve you, set you up so that you not only can feel comfortable doing a breakout room, maybe even have discussion around topics that you can potentially talk about, but also be able to leverage those breakout rooms so that you can start building some clients for yourself. So maybe Kaden, you can take a couple minutes and we can ask them to tell us, if you can, in the chat where you're from, and you know, what do you do?
Yeah, I definitely would love to know. Like, this is honestly an opportunity for me to really have one-on-one time or a smaller group session with you guys, because, you know, I'm hosting the whole thing and I try to talk to you guys individually, but sometimes I don't get a chance to. So I definitely would love to know what you do. I think, Latoya, I believe you do jewelry, right?
Yes, I have my jewelry collection that is going.
Good.
Get support. Thumbs up, thumbs up.
Awesome, awesome. And then Mignon, I would love to know what it is that you do. And
so actually I'm a freight broker. I'm trying to turn my camera on, but it's not working.
Okay, freight broker, nice.
Yeah, I'm a freight broker. So I just got into the transportation industry.
Okay.
Did we lose her?
I think so. But I think that's awesome. I mean, I want to say, I was hearing a lot about the transportation industry around this time last year. And I was like, do I need to go get a truck and start making some deliveries? Like,
yeah, a lot of people have been getting in either on the freight brokering side, or some people have been buying trucks. It has been a shortage of trucks though. So I guess everybody's just kind of trying to find a way to get in.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's super, super cool. So yeah, I mean, I hope that, again, as Gina was saying, you know, our goal is definitely to give you guys information, but also to help you as individually as we possibly can, and to answer any questions you have when it comes to a breakout room, you know, showcasing your business and how to put it all together. Because fourth quarter, I mean, October, we're on the 19th already. Jeez.
I know, right? I don't know. Well, we're gonna just play it by ear. Something says it keeps happening on Facebook Live. It says online streaming, but it's not letting me connect. So it's all right. Let's do the presentation and
let's keep going.
Get it going.
Absolutely. Oh, there we go.
Okay. There we go. All right. So we want to talk about. Oh, I've got all this stuff in the way here. There we go. Maybe get you guys out of the way a little bit. So we're going to talk a little bit today about how to leverage networking with a breakout room. Whoops. All right. So a couple of things. And this first slide, what we usually do is we want to make sure that you're here for the right reasons, right? That you're going to spend this time with us so that you can make sure you get the most of it. And a couple of questions or a couple of thoughts that we had about, you know, maybe this would be a really good time is like, how do you know if you're in the right place? So I always say, like, have you been networking with little to no results of clients, partners, and collaboration? So you're making all of these conscious efforts, you're coming to these networking events, but yet you're not gaining any of that. If you believe that networking is just a social hour, right, where we come and exchange business cards and, and you don't believe that you get anything from it, well, we're going to prove you wrong. And if you think networking is something you should do, but you don't really know what you're doing. If that's you and those are your thoughts around networking, well, then Kaden and I are here to prove you wrong. And I know personally, since I've started working with Kaden, the networking sessions that I've done, I think I've only been like, maybe 5-6 times, Kaden?
I'm talking. I think we're coming up on 6, 7 now.
Okay, 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to ask the team for the actual figure, but I want to say we're somewhere between like $40,000-$50,000 worth of revenue that I've generated just in those few months of working with Kaden and the group. So there's definitely potential out there, and there is a system on how to do it, and that's what we're here to show you. Kaden, you want to talk a little bit about this one?
Absolutely. So it's when you come to networking, just like you do a lot of things in your life, it's like, what do you really want from it? So what do you really want from networking? Now, when it comes to networking, I talk about this in my presentation when I talk to you guys before we get into the actual networking. You want to make connections. Those connections, you want them to, they're going to lead you to clients, collaborations, and partnerships, as well as you want to generate leads, referrals, as well as new clients to drive the revenue in your business. Okay. So yes, you are putting yourself out there, you're getting exposure for your business, but it's more than that, right? It's about helping people and the process of making money. So go ahead, Gina.
Amen. That's a fact, right? And I think that's what people forget. We go out there with this ego of, it's all about me. Look at what I do. Right. And I think that's like one of the biggest problems is we come into these networking or breakout rooms and it's just like, let me tell you about me. And people forget that it's about helping other people. And when we change that mentality, just that mentality, right, that we're there to help other people, it's like all of a sudden there are some new magnets that begin to show up. And then all of a sudden things begin to spiral in a whole new direction. So yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I don't know where to put this without it being in the way. Sorry if I keep moving it around.
Yeah, it's all good.
All right. So here's the problem, right? When we're talking about networking in today's world, is that in the virtual networking, there's just not enough time to make a connection with people generally. Kaden does a really great job in her platform where she has 4 breakout rooms and they're 15 minutes each. But in those 15 minutes, you have 4 people in a segment and we're all introducing ourselves. Sometimes there's an opportunity to have some general conversation, but it's really short. I've been able to make connections in those rooms, but let's be honest, right? When we're doing virtual networking, there's just not enough time to really make that connection like we used to face to face. And the other problem that I see is that the messaging is really unclear to others about what it is that you do. I cannot talk more about that, which is why the whole month of November, Kaden, I don't know if you saw, but the whole month of November, we have 4 different trainings that are going on that are going to talk about getting your messaging right. And it has nothing to do with who you are. Right? It has everything to do with the solution that you help people achieve. So these are 2 really, really major problems when you're out in the field of networking, and which is what makes these breakout rooms really, really powerful. So let's talk about the next one.
Absolutely. So, I mean, there's something that we can all agree. When we're trying to make income and it's not coming in, that's like the worst part, right? I can absolutely attest to that, and then you're also thinking to yourself, well, I'm trying to explain what it is that I do, but you're doing it in too many ways and it's draining and frustrating and confusing to yourself and to the person that you're talking to. And then you start making all these excuses as to why it's not working, when really there's only one reason why it's not working. And we're going to definitely go over that today.
Yes. Beautiful.
No tears, no tears.
No tears. We thought that maybe we'd throw in a little slide here, and I'm sure all of you know us already, but we thought maybe like, hey, why listen to Kaden and I? Like, who the heck are we? What have we done, in order to say that we're experts, to talk in this field? And I think first off, just talking about Kaden, let me just like put her up on the pedestal, because she is the queen of networking. Let's give her her crown and put her up on the pedestal, because not only does she have a dynamic smile, she's got an awesome personality that just loves to draw people in. She has successfully built a platform worldwide, right? We get international people all the time, and I love hearing all the different accents when we're on the calls. Generating over 1,000 clients and referrals. Like, that's pretty impressive. She's also a very forward thinker and a designer with solutions for today's business owners. So if you have a business and you're struggling to showcase what it is that you do, Kaden is your girl, definitely to be one to connect with. But
I thank you. I want to go into you, Gina. I want to go into you.
Wait. You say that you've generated 1,000 clients, but let me just ask really quick, how many people do you have in that networking funnel?
Oof. It's definitely over 1,000. It's way over 1,000.
Way over 1,000.
And again, it's worldwide.
Yeah.
So that in itself is like, listen, when a country comes on, I'm like, oh, hey, my friends from, it's like 9 o'clock at night over there, but it's 2 o'clock here. It's amazing. It's amazing.
I want to say
1,000.
Just doing the breakout room, I have over 3,000 on my list. You have to have probably, I'm thinking, 6,000 to 8,000 people on your, that are in that circle. So pretty powerful.
And mind you, the women's event is not even a year old yet.
I know.
So it's super amazing. But let me get into Gina, since I've met her, first event until now. She is an amazing woman, and the things that she has done and the transformations that she has made and helped people is astounding. So she is, yes, a serial entrepreneur and went from orphan to millionaire. Like, I'm working on that. I'm working on that. And for me, I love that I'm collaborating with Gina right now, because I'm getting to learn from her. And that is so important. She's a best-selling author. We all have a story to tell. And Gina, I not even get emotional, because it means so much to me that we are connected. I can relate to her. Family is foundation. Family is important. And she has built a family foundation that's now 3 generations in. 3 generations. How many of us want to be able to say that down the road? We're working for right now, and we're working to build the capital and the revenue for our business right now. This is also about generational wealth. This is also about passing something down to the younger generation that's in your family. Okay. Now, Gina, as you already know, she's a thought leader. She's an accelerator coach, and she will push you. She pushes me. Okay. And she will push you in a gentle way, but it makes you like, yes, I want to do better. I want to be better. She consults an equine, and she's an equine practitioner. Like, I've never met one of those before. And I've learned so much. Like, I like horses, and I know about horse farms and stuff like that, but really to get to know how an equine practitioner can make an impact on your business is huge. And she's made this huge impact on people worldwide. She has helped so many people become so clear with how they want to serve people, with what it is that they're serving people with. Gina is definitely a person you need to talk to get that clarity in line. You have time. 4th quarter, yes, it just started, but you have time. We still have November and December. So she has 4 workshops coming up in November. You need to sign up for all 4 of them, period.
Yeah, it's interesting how long it takes people to get their messaging right, because it's not about what we tell you, but it's about what we have to pull out of you. Right. The same way when you do your website development, it's like you don't put the information there. It's like you've got to,
I got to extract it. Yep. I got to extract it from you in clever different ways. Ask a question, maybe 5 different ways to get all of the information. And sometimes it's information that you never thought of, or you just brushed it aside and said, no, that's not important. Yeah, actually, that is important, because now people can connect with you based off of that thing. So yeah,
for sure. We just had, just so you know, Kaden, we had a lady that's from the networking group she's from Virginia, Charmaine Wilson was just here from the 3-day event that we had on heart-centered sales. That was really impactful. Maybe we can get her to come on in the networking event.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right. So using a breakout room to get qualified leads, right? There's 3 things that we want to think about is A, we want to make a deeper connection in a short amount of time. We want to get more exposure so that there's the potential to get referrals and clients, right? And you're helping others. So going into, what we look in offering in a breakout room in order to be successful, maybe Kaden, you can start off with this one, and we'll probably spend a little bit of time here talking about this one.
Oh yeah, I think this one is the most important, and we definitely should spend time here because the questions that I get a lot is, what should I offer? So this is the part where you pick a program that you know is going to be really good for potential clients that you're solving a problem with. You want to be super, super clear. Yes, you have a bunch of different things that you do in your business. I got a bunch of different things that I do when it comes to websites, but I pick one specific bucket that I want to showcase, that I want to, drive leads to, and all of that. So an example,
not to interrupt you, but I think that's supposed to say problem. Pick a problem your potential clients have.
Pick a problem. Well, pick a problem and pick a particular service.
Right, exactly.
Pick a problem and pick a service.
Yeah.
The service and the problem are going to go hand in hand. Here's the problem. This is the service that you offer. Pick one. If they need other stuff, cool, you'll find out that, but pick a problem that you can help your potential clients solve. So for the example, how to create a pitch that drives leads. The problem is they don't know how to drive leads, and also they need to create a better pitch. That's kind of 2 problems in one, and then you want to follow that up with, you can make a few slides. Absolutely. Have, it's 15 minutes in the breakout room initially. So yes, have a few slides that people can look at. Maybe they want to jot down some notes. But it depends on you. It depends on if you're better with slides or if you're better verbally illustrating something. And then absolutely introduce yourself. Let them know who you are. Okay. This is your opportunity, not your life story, but just let them know who you are and how you even relate to the problem that you're solving for them. Because if they know that this is something that you even used for yourself to overcome what it is that they're wanting to overcome, hey, it's in the bucket. It's in the bucket. Absolutely. Gina, you want to go on to the next one?
Well, I mean, this one's really, it's funny because, we're our worst enemy, right? Kaden goes on and she does these networking events every other week, and she's got large audiences that are paying attention to her. But in herself, she has her own practice of developing websites for people. And the one thing that she always forgets to do is she doesn't make her own introduction and say, look, this is really important for you. If you want the opportunity to connect with me, well, let me just share my contact information. So you want to make sure whether you do it in the beginning, and a lot of times when I go in the breakout rooms, I go, look, I've got some really good material I want to cover with you. Let me just share in the breakout room a couple ways that you can connect with me so I don't forget, because when I get going, I get my head in the game, then I completely forget about reconnecting with you. So you want to make sure at some point, whether you're doing it in the beginning or whether you're doing it in the middle, whichever it may be, is that you're prepared to put that contact information in, and this is how you can connect with me. Now, I know Kaden has this thing that she calls etiquette, when we're going in the posts. So what I do is I usually put down my name, what the solution is that I help people achieve, my website, my phone number, my email, and then I put my book a call with me. And then, but when I'm in my private breakout room, I also share my Facebook group with them so that they can come on and see those live trainings that we do all the time, kind of like what we're doing here. But there's all these different videos that they can go in and learn from. So, and I just post it there, and then it's up to them, but you have to remember, whatever the business is, you're in the business of selling. And in order to sell, you have to put yourself out there and say, if you want to do business with me, or if you need help, or you'd like to connect with me and have a discovery or a strategy call, here's how you do it. But so often people I feel like, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but often people wait for the person to say, well, how do I connect with you? Right? So that's really important. thinking about the presentation. So like Kaden said at the top, one of the examples that we gave was how to create a pitch that drives leads. So my clients, as a solution-oriented person, always struggle with connecting with the right qualified leads. So if they can't connect with the right qualified leads, right, that's the problem. Well, then what is it that I talk about? Well, let's create a pitch that attracts the qualified leads. And, to be honest with you, this particular thing works in two ways, right? It works in one way where I'm teaching you how to connect with qualified leads, but in the process, I'm getting you to be clear on what it is you offer, right? And so it's like a 10-minute presentation, maybe 6 or 8 slides. But then the opportunity is to reconnect afterwards. But I always want to make sure I get the Q&A in, because the information is so powerful. Even like here, I know the people are going to have you're all going to have questions. Leave that little bit of time so that you can have a little Q&A, because as soon as you get that Q&A going on, that's when you're building rapport and you're actually making the connection. And that is important. So, I'll say something like, all right, well, who wants help with developing their pitch? And then somebody will come on and say, okay, all right, me. All right, tell me what you do. And so we try to craft a pitch really fast. What am I doing? I'm adding value to them. As long as I add value to them and I serve them, they go, hey, wait, I need to connect with Gina. So, what we want to do is we want what we have to offer be the solution to a problem that they have, right? So whatever the problem is, and we can talk about this in a few minutes. So whatever the problem is that your clients have, how is it that you're that solution? I think we covered everything on that one. What do you think, Kaden? Did I leave anything out?
Absolutely. Nope. We covered it all.
All right, cool. So, go ahead, you take this one.
So are you already thinking, I don't know what to talk about? That happens to me sometimes. I actually have a presentation coming up tomorrow and I'm like, I don't know what I want to talk about, self-consciousness. I'm self-conscious of getting out there and speaking in groups right here. I know it's hard to believe, but literally this was me. This is me. I want to say a year ago, that was me. I'm like, talk to people. I don't know. I used to go to networking events. First of all, I had to excite myself in the car before I even got out of the car and be like, okay, you only have to talk to 3 people. You're in business. You want to do this. You can do this. Okay. So that self-consciousness, the speaking, the knowing what to say, all of that. And then I don't have the right web or my web right. I mean, that's a real thing. And I totally understand it. There's so much information out there and so many other platforms that are saying, oh, you can do it yourself. Some things you can, some things you should just leave for others to guide you. Okay. And that's okay. Like, you understand that you have water running in your house. Are you a plumber? No. Are you going to go under your sink and start playing with pipes and stuff? No. Let the plumber do it and you just make the call. And that's totally okay. And then again, getting back to your messaging. I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm not clear on my messaging. I'm self-conscious and feeling like I'm, getting up in front of a big crowd and speaking. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm unclear with my messaging. My website, I feel like it's a mess because my messaging isn't clear. They all work in tandem with each other. One feeds the other. Okay. So if this is what you're thinking,
you're not alone.
You're not alone. You're not alone at all. Does it lessen? Absolutely. But I'm telling you right now, I am that person. Okay. I am that person.
I think it's important, Kaden, that you remember that it's not about you. That's right. That's where that ego shows up. Right.
Exactly.
What you have is an important message for somebody, and who is it that needs to hear what it is that you have to say? So if you keep that mentality in, I'm just here to have a conversation with people and I can share with them what it is that I know, and I don't make it about myself or my ego, well, then you just show up. You just have a conversation.
Absolutely. And to that point, like I got to the point where I don't need to, get myself all like, all right, I can do this. There's someone that I'm about to meet today that needs a website, period. So that's who I'm going to look for. So I'm going to go into this room so they can find me. And it typically happens. I'll be like, oh, hey, what do you do? Da, da, da. I do websites. Oh, really? I need your services. Okay, cool. I was just looking for somebody, or I just had a conversation about somebody, for a website, blah, blah, blah. I'm here now. So yes, think about the other person. Yes.
And this is something that we're going to talk about. Like, if you have questions around, what can you talk about, or help you to come up with a topic that you can talk about. I also know in the breakout rooms, you also are very selective about, we want to make sure we have diversity in all these breakout rooms and we don't have all the same people talking about the same thing. So if you've got a special talent, well, then we've got an audience for you.
Absolutely.
Okay, you really want to be successful. So there's a bunch of excuses that we find out that for not getting the right help, right? If you feel challenged with confidence, clarity, messaging, like we were just talking about, well, then absolutely you want to connect with me. And the reason why we say that is because for me, I work with people that have these different fears, right? You have fears of being reluctant to make calls, fears of having closing conversations, fears of just basically connecting with people and giving your message. And if you have all these fears that you're fighting, well, then it makes it really hard to have your messaging. So we have a simple solution to sales that's heart-centered and authentic. You can connect with me on Facebook. You can connect with me if you're in our email sequence. We send out emails. Like I said earlier, we have November, we have 4 trainings. And then there's always an opportunity where you go, okay, so I know I've got a problem. I don't have my messaging. I know I need help. It's not just about the messaging that I need help overall in my business. Well, then I would encourage you to have a discovery call where we spend 45 minutes with you and we kind of dive into what's going on with your business and see if we can't be a help to work with you. Kaden, you've got a couple of great stuff too that you've got going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So, once you get your messaging, I'm going to say, once you get your messaging complete with Gina, you definitely want to head over to me, because it's me taking your messaging and taking your vision and bringing it to life so that everyone can touch it. Everyone can see it. For you to showcase your business when you're sleeping, it's on display for you. Okay. So what I have for you guys is a free live web presence training that I do twice a month. I do, and it's the same week as the women's event. So that following Thursday, I host, it's 1 hour. You come in with your questions. You can come in and have me actually look at your website right then and there to give you some pointers and stuff like that. Or you can book a personal one-on-one individual discovery call with me. We'll take time, go through what it is that you need, how we can boost certain things and maybe even remove certain things to make you stand out, to go hand in hand with your messaging, and so that people can connect with you faster and more efficiently. Okay.
Your show, when we talk about websites, I always like to refer to it as a showroom. Being an owner of real estate for a lot of years, it's like you have to think of your website as if it was a storefront. People were walking, down the street, and you wanted them to be attracted to that storefront. So it's absolutely imperative. But I can contest that as you're in business and you're doing business, whether you're just starting out and you don't have a website, that's okay. That doesn't mean that you can't do this, right? It's not an end to all, like, oh my God, I can't, do these breakouts or do this because I don't have a website. That's not true at all. But the other thing is as well is, even if you have a website, I feel like we're forever behind the times of changing what's evolving up ahead. Right. So is your website always going to be perfect? I'm going to tell you,
no.
It's a never-ending process. The same way you would have a store, 9 times out of 10, you change it with the seasons, you change So, different products, different interests. It's the same thing for your website. So it's definitely something that, yes, you need it. Yes, it should think of it as more of a long-term commitment that keeps helping you evolve and showcase what it is that what you do and who you are. Okay, so a couple of words of encouragement. Take it away, Kaden.
All right, so the only person that'll judge you when you do this in the breakout room is you. Let me repeat that. The only person that's going to judge you is you, period. No one else is judging you. All right. Your message needs to be heard and people need your service. Okay. Like they need it. They need it now more than ever. The world has changed dramatically. Okay. And you want to make sure and keep the focus on how you will help others. Okay. It's not about you. I mean, you will reap benefits from it, but at the end of the day, when you're first presenting, it's not about you. So you don't need to feed your ego. All right. No one will judge you but you.
Mhm.
Okay.
In fact, I think most people would be like, oh, I wish I could do a breakout room.
Right. No, and literally that's what it is. Like in between, when you guys are in breakout rooms or networking, people are popping back to me like, okay, so how does this breakout room work? And how it's like, whoa. What are you nervous about? Because you're talking in the big room with everybody around. What is it that you need? You know what I mean? You got to flip it back and be like, what is it that you need?
Mhm.
Don't think about, you know, like the grandness of it. Make it smaller. And that's something that I've learned and it has helped me. Make it smaller and also putting the attention back on the person that needs your service.
Mhm. It makes selling really easy when you're not focused on yourself.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, the world of introductions and stuff always talks about like, well, who are you? You know, we like to come from an approach that helps, you know, create that mindset that's more of a serving mindset.
Yeah.
It's like, no, here's what I can do for you, right? And just think a little bit differently. So if you think it, you want it, you can get it. As long as you're not focused on the money, but you're focused on how you can deliver what it is the clients need.
Yep.
Okay. This is your gig.
All right. So, I mean, most importantly, your investment. Your investment in this case is $350. Now, I know I go over the ways that you can participate in the event, and this bundle that we came up with for you guys, I think it was the best idea we could do, because it gives you an opportunity to not only, you know, showcase your business in on a multiple level, but excuse me, you have an opportunity to touch 3 different audiences. Okay. And then not only that, before they get into your room, we introduce you. You have 60 seconds to introduce yourself. And then you get the 15 minutes plus the additional 30 minutes at the end of the event. So really you get 45 minutes in a breakout room every time, twice a month. Well, we'll say twice a month plus an extra. And this is leads. And over time, I mean, people signing up for you because they understand what you do and how you can serve, it pays for itself. It absolutely pays for itself. So I would personally say, and I do breakout rooms. I'm not just saying this. I do breakout rooms. I sign myself up for breakout rooms and it has paid for itself over and over and over again. Okay. So if you're looking to definitely put yourself out there and to build leads and to generate, those qualifying leads, those people that will definitely use your services, I would suggest that you definitely sign up for a breakout room as soon as you can. Don't wait. Don't say, oh, I'm not ready. You're ready. If you're saying you're not ready, you're ready. You're looking for an excuse to not do it.
Right. And so on that note, it's always interesting. People say, well, I'm not ready. And I always say, well, why don't we do this? Why don't you sign up now? Because then as soon as you sign up, guess what? You're going to get ready.
That too. As soon as you sign up, you're going to be like, all right, I did it. All right, I got to go do it now. Yes, you do.
You have to make the change. If you don't make the change, then nothing in life changes. So you have to make those initial commitments. Like even when it comes to like coaching, when we have clients that want to sign up for our coaching or our events that we have here, it's like, well, when I get a little bit more money, but then there's always going to be something else that shows up.
Yeah.
So we got to be clear in our mind, are the things that we're doing revenue-driven activities? Are they personally developing me? Because if they're not, then those are the things you should be making the first commitment to and say yes to, even if you don't know all the hows, because I don't know about you. I remember in my earlier days, not so much in college, because I didn't go to college, but in school, I always waited till like the last day to study for a test. Right. And so it's kind of like the same thing. Once we make the commitment and we know it's there, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
But if we don't take that step and make the commitment, then you can say all you want. Oh, okay, next month. Well, now the whole year is going to be gone. So I encourage you that if you don't have it all figured out, will it look ugly in the beginning? Again, you're the only person that's going to judge yourself. Most of the time, people don't know what you forgot. They don't even know what it is that, the topic that you're discussing, right? Only you know how to talk about websites, Kaden. So if you leave something out, I'm not going to be like, hey, wait a minute, she didn't talk about, yeah, no. Right? So make the commitment, do a breakout session, do 3 sessions. Not only do you get the opportunity to connect with people on a much higher level and build that rapport, we'll happily help you. We're going to talk about here directly in a few minutes to help you build your first breakout room. But also, when you do this, you're going to get the list of names of people that have been in this network event, and now you can start nurturing them. Right. So there's another advantage in that you're able to put together emails and talk about the things that you do. So if you didn't connect with them, because there's always someone that's shy in the background, right? If you didn't connect with them in that 30-minute or 20-minute, episode, you can now start to connect with them through emailing. So there's a couple win-win situations there, but
absolutely.
If you think just getting one client out of a room, I don't know, what your costs, what your product is, but for us, I mean, our least expensive product that has the most value is $2,500. So, I mean, for me to invest $350 to be in front of the audience of people that want to hear what I have to say, I mean, yeah. If you've got
and to be able to nurture those who you didn't get to talk to or who didn't get to talk to you because they had to leave or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely worth it, for sure. Okay.
So go, sir.
Oh, that's it. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
I thought there was another slide. All right, let me stop sharing this. And let's go. Is it Noreen? Noreen, you've been like, yes, and you've been laughing, and oh my God, I could just hear all the thoughts going on. And I don't know, Kaden, did you see her? She's got her pen and paper.
Yes. Oh, the whole time. I'm looking at her like writing down and nodding her head because Noreen's going to sign up for a breakout room for the next event.
Well,
I am.
I am.
I am going to sign up. I see the value in this. Hello, Gina. How are you? And hey, Kaden. Nice to see you again. Just to steal the spotlight a little bit here, I agree. I do want to, and you're right. It resonates with me, Gina, when you said, if I sign up, I will get ready. Simple. I'm the same way. I study at the last minute. I know when I'm supposed to get things done, and I get it done because I have to get it done, and everything gets done. So I'm ready to sign up.
All right. Awesome.
I was already thinking to myself, I have to come up with a PowerPoint. I have to do all these things. I have to get myself geared up. I have to do some push-ups, whatever, right? Jumping jacks in the parking lot, right? But I just have to get ready. I have so many things, like all of us, we all have so many things that go on in our lives. But if I don't make the time for it or squeeze in the time for it now, I'll keep chasing my tail. So I have to push forward.
Noreen, tell us what you do.
Okay. So most business owners contact Capstone Payment Solutions when they are sick and tired of overpaying for overpaying in merchant processing fees. Basically, we set up businesses to accept payments online and in stores. Most people work with Square, Stripe, PayPal, mainstream companies. We go in, we have about over 100 banks that we work with. We find you the best rates. We do it in 48 hours. We present it to you, apples to apples. You tell me, this is what I'm paying right now. And I tell you, this is what we can offer. And you make the call. We save companies about average $6,000. I have used it for my own private practice. I'm a nurse practitioner with a clinic. My husband has used it for his own company, electrical company. And we have several other businesses that we have helped save quite a lot of money. And that's what we do.
Okay, so what I just heard her say was that she helps save business owners money while collecting money from their clients.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
I heard the same thing, Gina. You do.
Give me feedback, please.
What Gina said, that's exactly what you do. You, with your merchant services, because we had a conversation and I told you what I used or whatever, and you're getting these better rates for your clients. So you're
Right.
helping them to save more money while they're getting the money from their clients. So while they're charging their clients,
Right.
they're also saving money.
Correct.
I think
a
Correct.
yeah.
So think of it this way. What's the problem then that business owners have when it comes to collecting money from their potential clients?
What's the problem they have? Let's see. Accessibility. Do they want digital? Do they want no? No, I see you shaking your head. No. Tell me.
Well, I can't tell you, because if I tell you, then you're not going to remember. It has to come from
Okay.
you. So what's the biggest reason why they come to you? Think about it.
They come to me because they are sick and tired of overpaying in merchant processing fees.
There we go. So that's what you
Okay.
need to talk about. There's your title.
Oh,
And
okay.
now, how are you the solution to that? You're going, by working with you help solve that problem.
Okay.
So they can keep more money in their pocket instead of paying it to a third-party company.
Excellent.
So when I introduce
Okay.
you, you're going to say what you're going to talk about. I mean, I'm going to have your title. You're going to send me your title and everything.
Okay.
But you're also going to say this stuff in your 60-second introduction. You're going to say, hi, my name is Noreen McNally. I help business owners, blah, 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 blah.
That are
Okay.
frustrated with paying third-party fees and want nothing more than to keep money in their pocket.
Right.
Okay. Now, is this recorded? Can I get a recording of this at some point so I can just go over this and write every single word?
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Okay.
do you see, so, I mean, even though you're a merchant service rep, right?
Right.
Do you see how, we didn't even really talk about merchant service.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
Because that's the who you are feeds our own ego. Like, oh, look at me, I'm this.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Uh-huh.
But instead, I work with business owners that are really frustrated with having to pay third-party fees when they're trying to make a living. And
Okay.
they want nothing more than to be able to keep the money in their pocket instead of having to share it.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So you're that solution. So now if you do a breakout room, you're going to talk about how you can keep money in your pocket instead of paying third-party vendors.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
And so then you put together a couple slides, right? Here's the problem, that banks, that Stripe, that PayPal, you know,
Okay.
here's the challenge business owners have. They don't have enough time in their day, right? You need that third party that knows, that expert that knows what it is that they're doing, so that they can get the best results. And here's how you help them to save money. Now, does anybody here want to save money? Hello, ask the question. They're going to go, yep. Okay, so how many calls are Noreen going to get?
All the calls.
Many. All of them.
All the calls. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Noreen,
Okay.
does that help
Okay.
you?
That excellent. Absolutely. Yes.
Good,
Where are
good.
you from?
New Hampshire. I'm in Salem, New Hampshire. I'm from Kenya. I have to think about it. I'm actually originally from Kenya in Africa. I've been in America for about 12 years now. I live in Salem, New Hampshire with my
Beautiful.
family.
I love the accent.
Yes.
That's why I was asking.
What accent?
You do not have a New Hampshire accent. I'm telling you right now.
Right, right. So this is
Absolutely.
really good. Thank you for
Good.
the feedback, first of all. And I'm really looking forward to getting my feet wet. I'll keep practicing. I'll, as 3 breakout rooms. By the third one, I'm sure I'll be polished by that time.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like you can change up your title to see what
Uh-huh.
fits. But then once you have one that really goes, then you can take that one and keep going. But you definitely
typically,
But you don't have to
typically
change
how
the
many?
PowerPoint.
Yes.
You
you don't have to change your PowerPoint.
Keep the same PowerPoint, just change different title, like just change the wording around a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Typically, how many people do we have for audience for the entire room? Not the breakout room, because with the breakout room, they choose where they want to go.
Yeah.
But what about the entire event? Typically, what's the number?
The entire event, honestly, it's a toss-up.
Okay.
I mean, we've been hitting, our normal is between 70 and 80.
Oh, wow.
With the fall season now, it's changed.
Okay.
It definitely has changed. Like, I mean, you saw our last event, we had about 60 people on.
Okay.
So
But even if you
But
get
still,
four-
that's a good number.
But even if you get 4 or 5 people in there, I mean, yeah,
and you can make a
Absolutely.
connection with one person, that still,
Mhm.
you know, pays for itself.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And what are the dates for these events?
Oh, for the November events?
For the when I can do the breakout room. What's the next
so
one?
we have an event coming up on the 27th. That
Okay.
one's already open, so you could sign up for
Okay.
that.
Okay.
And then the next one is on November 3rd.
Okay.
And then the next one is December 8th.
Okay.
And then I believe we're going to do one on the 22nd of December as well, but I'll double check. But then at least the next 2 is going to be November 3rd and then
November 3rd.
December 8th.
sorry,
What
not November 3rd,
time?
November 10th. Sorry, November 10th. Second one,
November
not the
10th.
first. Gina is on the call and she had me in break.
November 10th
Yes,
at what time?
November 10th, 2 to 3:30 p.m.
2 to
Eastern.
3:30. For
Right.
everyone, right? 2 to 3:30.
Yeah, every second and fourth Wednesday. So
Okay.
we're not going to do the fourth Wednesday in November because that's the day before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's November 10th, and then the next one is going to be December 8th.
And
Excellent.
I would plan 2 to 4, because what happens is you do that 20-minute breakout room, but then the event ends at 3:30, and that's when you can spend another 30 minutes with them. So really
Right.
block your time from 2 to 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
All right,
Excellent.
Noreen.
Mignon, thank you, Noreen. Mignon, did you have any
Thank you.
questions?
Yes. So I do have questions. As far as when you're networking with people, when you're in the room and what you guys were saying about like reaching out and having the mindset of wanting to help people. So what I do as a freight broker, I basically just help like shippers and manufacturers like move their freight if they have like problem freight, or if they're not able to like move loads and stuff like that. Like that's how I help them. So usually when I'm in a room networking with people, they're not necessarily shippers, but they're like other people. So how do you go about really networking with those people and kind of like getting out what you can do for them and what they can do for you?
So are you more B2B or are you B2C? Are you more business?
I'm sorry, you said B2B or
B2C?
Yeah, it's more B2C.
Okay, so you're working with customers that have products. When you say freight, I think of big things.
Yeah, they are. So
Okay.
I work with smaller companies too, because there are companies that like, for an example, maybe like a mom and pop shop that is shipping like materials to make clothes and things like that. So there are smaller businesses, but for the most part, there are large companies with large items that need to be moved.
What's the smallest weight that you ship?
So the smallest weight I would say was probably around like 5,000 pounds. And we call those the LTL freight. So it's just basically the less than load in the container. So that's not normal. Usually our loads are pretty heavy, and they're usually full. But we do have some people that like to only ship but so many things at one time. So we might have it to where it's a smaller load, but the companies are still big though.
Yeah. So, I mean, to be honest with you, I would say make sure that you're in a networking event that has industrial owners. Right? You want to put yourself in the audience that needs your service, because this is a good example of, it's not just any networking event that you want to go to, right? You want to go to one where you know for certain, and a good place to start is sometimes like the local chamber. The local chamber has usually fairly large industrial companies that are great supporters. Just because I think, and I don't know, Kaden, you would know better than me, but I think a lot of the business owners that are here are more on a smaller scale as far as like insurance, financial advisors, coaches, things like that. So you would be putting, not that we want to deter you from coming, you're more than welcome to come, but I just want to make sure I give you the right information so that you can be successful. And I would say you want to put yourself in a place where there's industrial people.
Yeah. And usually whenever I do come to events like this, it's more of like personal development. So maybe like the topic is what caught my eye, or something like that. Like usually with the smaller events, I'm not necessarily really, with any event that I go to, it's like, yeah, I'm hoping to get a customer, but at the same time, it's really more of like professional development and things that could help me, you know, with what I'm doing. So if that's sales, or if that's like what you guys were talking about as far as making sure you have the right image and things like that, usually when you're in those bigger conferences, they expect for you to already have that kind of stuff together. So you don't get as much from those. But then when you have the smaller ones, you have, okay, well, this is what you need to do. Your website needs to look like this, and you should be presenting yourself like this. And that's what I need right now as well. I need both. So
Yeah. No, and to what Gina was saying, like I agree with her. You should definitely seek out more networking events that are specific to what it is that you do. But I'm also like, I like doing that myself. You know what I mean? I've been in rooms where they're mostly talking about real estate and or lawyers or whatever, and I'm the only web developer creative in there.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're not a no, I do websites.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to come out and for me, it's trying out my pitch, because you guys are technically my market that I'm you know, advertising to, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But also, like you said, the self-development. So definitely, yeah, check out the chambers, check out, like, you're on LinkedIn, correct?
I am, yes.
Good. Definitely look at your LinkedIn profile, join some groups. I know there's groups on LinkedIn when it comes
Yeah, there
to
are.
trucking and freight and stuff like that. You want to join those and be active in that, so that you can find those specific industry networking events that you can attend, all the while you're coming to the women's event and, you know, practicing your pitch, practicing getting better, learning about CRM systems, so you can have that already on board and ready for you to go. And then you never know. You absolutely never know who knows somebody who's like, oh, well, I know somebody who needs your services. Because that's the referral part, you know? So yeah.
Do you work for yourself, or do you work for a company?
No, I work for myself.
Okay, so this is your company?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Awesome. Well, like Kaden was just saying too, like when you come into the event, you're doing your own personal development. I would highly encourage you to look at our heart-centered sales program, which helps develop all of those things that you're talking about. But also, you know, a lot of the people that are in the group may also know somebody.
Yeah.
So that's where you may get a referral, if anything, from being in that event. I don't know that there's a lot of industrial places, but you know, a lot of conventions, there's like commercial conventions type stuff that isn't also a great way to expose yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
and you're in Atlanta, so there's the whole like, I think they're having it still next month, the small business Expo.
Yes, I was just going to suggest that.
Yeah, you can definitely, like, I've gone, and you know, there's a bunch of different types of companies, you know. Yeah, so look into the small business expo.
Yeah, I'm actually going to one on the 27th. Actually, there's one in Boston, so
yeah,
the 27th, so it's a good idea.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well,
you guys have been fantastic. Thank you, Gina.
Thank you, Kaden. You guys have any other questions for us?
Yeah. Any more questions, Mignon?
I don't think so. As far as like reaching out, because I know I did want to do like the discovery with both of you guys, what would be like the best way for me to do that? Because I know that you guys are on LinkedIn, so should I just reach out on LinkedIn?
Well, first off, you're driving.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do it right now.
You can definitely connect with me on LinkedIn for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you, let me just go off Facebook Live. Obviously we'll post below the event, our contact information.
Okay.
Let me stop streaming.